Good evening, everyone. We will begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitudes to God and Meishu-sama for the permission and protection granted us while participating today in God's divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamurogi no mikoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no imuka no tachi hanano. Odono awagi harani misogi harai tamo. Toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono o kamigachi. Moro moro no magagoto tsumike harai o. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshiro. Amatsu kangi kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni. Ame no fuji goma no mi furitate kikoshi meseto kashi komi momaosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kam nagara tamachi haemase. Kam nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified, as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your grace plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
Obrigado, Meishu-sama. Please.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. God's plan. How can God's great plan to dispel humanity's errors and purify the universe be perceived by our limited human sight? For thousands of years, for eons, God has waited for the right time. It has arrived. God's plan is being fulfilled. God's great plan for paradise on earth must begin somewhere, with a small prototype in the material world. Our goal is to construct paradise on earth. This ideal world is about to be born. According to the revelation I received, the foundation of paradise on earth has already been established in the spiritual realm. Therefore, there is no doubt that it will materialize on earth in the near future. What a fortunate time it is in which we have been born. The thought of this fills us with joy. How might it occur? Suppose someone wished to build a magnificent home in the place of an existing structure. The old house first has to be taken down. Some of the building blocks of that house, such as lumber, can be used again for the new building, but only after they have been selected, washed clean, shaved with a plane, and polished. The same principle is involved in the construction of paradise on earth. Thus, even though some events that will happen may seem unreasonable, illogical, unproductive, or even destructive from a human perspective, please understand that what is actually happening is a major purification of an accumulation of clouds. It's all part of the profound plan of God and cannot be judged with our limited perception. We should act with humility, being careful not to question God's will, and remaining faithful. No matter what circumstances arise, whether unprecedented, unusual, or destructive, it is important to keep our peace of mind. This is possible only for those who have deep faith and trust in God. In the meantime, we should enjoy life and wait for the right time, leaving the final outcome in God's hands.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters. The faith experience I would like to share with you this evening is from Lara Sofia Pereira Teixeira da Mota. She's from the Amarante Johrei group in Portugal. Lara has been a Johrei member since September 2021, and she gives service at the Amarante Johrei group. In recent years, she has had many personal problems, especially her health. She had severe chronic anemia, felt very weak, received several iron injections, and was monitored by her doctors on a weekly basis. She also took many medications that end up seriously damaging her stomach, causing regular strong crises, and consequently she could no longer eat normally. She also recently had to undergo a surgery for a complete removal of her uterus. On a professional level, she's a construction contractor, which has given her a lot of financial problems. At home, her husband and children didn't feel well, worried about her situation. She felt that she had lost everything, becoming extremely upset, nervous, weak, and felt constant anguish. However, In March 2021, she met the son of a friend, a young man called Diniz, who told her he was a member of our church in Portugal, where he felt very happy. In the conversation, she told him what was happening to her, and he quickly invited her to go to the Amarantis Johrei group. She wasn't living her life without strength and didn't feel like doing anything. Also, whenever she was about to go to the church, something would happen to stop her. However, thanks to Denise's constant invitations and patience, after some time, she received the permission to accompany him to the Johrei place in Amarante. Lara was very well received by the ministers and told them everything that was happening to her. She received Johrei for a few hours, and when she left, she felt much calmer. However, the following weeks were not easy. She had days when she arrived at the center and only cried, did not talk to anyone, yet always received Johrei for a few hours and returned home. On other times, she wondered if it was worth living in this anguish and emptiness that she felt. In spite of that, Lara received a lot of support and hope from the ministers who advised her to continue, because then everything would improve, thanks to God and Meishu-sama. The weeks went by, and although overwhelmed with work, discouraged with many obstacles ahead, on Tuesdays and many times also on Thursdays, she did not stop going to the center to receive Johrei as much as possible. The truth is that gradually she began to feel better, with more strength, and every week her strong stomach crisis diminished. Meanwhile, something happened that confirmed her improvement. Her doctor, who had indicated her for a stomach operation after the last tests, said that the blood was normal and that she would no longer need to be operated on. It was a great miracle from God and Meishu-sama. Her life has taken a huge turn. Her health has improved. Her work has improved a lot, and she no longer has anguish. Now, when she wakes up, she is at peace and feels so thankful. In September of last year, with great gratitude and happiness, she received the sacred focal point of Hikari, to have the privilege of channeling Johrei and to be useful in the salvation of the greatest number of people. She participates in all the activities at the center, attending the monthly services, channeling and receiving Johrei, materializing her gratitude donations, making every week ikebanas at home. Additionally, she has started a home garden with the help of her family, with seedlings grown from their headquarters in Portugal. Lara has learned from this experience that only through serving God and Meishu-sama in the construction of paradise on earth will we have true health, peace, and prosperity. After receiving new Hikari, she began channeling Johrei daily to her husband and youngest son, with the summoning to guide them to our church, so that they too could experience the same as her. Took her a while, but now they go to the center every week and sometimes by themselves, at the times that each one can. They feel much calmer and happier, as she is even happier. Her eldest son, who is with her family only on weekends, and who at first did not accept Johrei, now is the one who asked for it. Recently, she has also started channeling Johrei to her in-laws. She has guided two individuals to our church, whom she is going to follow up with love, as ministers and members have done to her. Her major goal is to guide as many people as possible to receive Johrei, that is, to do what young Denise did to her, becoming a number one in someone's happiness. And now in 2022, she wants to strive in the formation of 100 committed members, according to the guidance of their head minister. The day after writing this faith experience, her lawyer called her regarding a labor-related lawsuit. Because she had been unemployed for 3 years, according to her lawyer's initial assessment, they would not have great possibilities, that her appeal would be a lost case. However, his call was to tell her that they had surprisingly won the case. Thus, with a heart full of gratitude, she made the decision to make a special offering of gratitude for the remodeling of their headquarters. Lottie is very grateful to God and Meishu-sama for the blessings she received, for her spiritual growth and happiness that she feels today. She's also thankful to her family for all their support, to Denise for having guided her to our church, and to the ministers who, through their attitudes and affection, were always willing to listen to her, being tirelessly by her side in this very arduous process she went through. Thank you very much for listening to this very wonderful faith experience. Wish you a wonderful evening.
This brings to a conclusion our evening service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We wish you a very blessed evening.